Welcome back to Unmute Yourself. I'm your host, Jennifer Carter, and this podcast is about lifting the curtain on leadership, purpose, and the real stories behind women who dared to do things differently. We'll talk about how they found their path, the struggles along the way. Y'all, we've had so many struggles tonight. It's just so funny. You don't even know. And how they built something that truly matters. These are normal people doing extraordinary things because I want you to know you are extraordinary too. My guest today is Laura Sandmann, a teaching artist at Creative York. I love your cat so much. Hello, Bart. I hope Bart makes an appearance, y'all. But anywho, I'm so sorry, I'm distracted. So Laura is a teaching artist at Creative York who brings creativity, curiosity, and deep self-awareness into everything she does. Laura balances her work as an artist with a leadership role in the food service industry, a combination that's grounded her in both creativity and responsibility. She's someone who moves through life with intention, openness, and a willingness to learn, grow, and try what's next. What I admire most about Laura is her quiet confidence. She's not rushing to prove anything, and instead she listens, asks thoughtful questions, and allows herself to evolve. Laura, I am so glad you're here.
Thank you, Jennifer. I love it.
We're already having so much fun. I hear Bart, the best orange cat in the world, behind you.
Yeah. He's so
Yeah.
antsy. He's
Man.
just he does not know what he's doing in his life.
I mean, I understand that. Do you understand that?
No, you just kind of wade through, but he wades through and knocks everything out of his way.
Love that for Bart. I love it. Well, I'm so interested. I've known you. How long have we known each other? 15 years?
Taylor is gonna be 17 this year, and you
Oh
were
my,
there for his birth.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're still just as beautiful as we were 17 years ago.
Girl, we are so much more beautiful. You radiate
We are positive energy bitches
fine
and witches.
wine, just getting
Fine.
better with age.
Now, as we talk about this, I'm about to say you come across as deeply grounded. 'Cause you know these things to be true. And self-aware. You have a presence about you when you come into the room and you connect with people. And I know you've had quite the journey through your life.
Yeah, for
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you
sure.
develop that sense of presence in your life?
It was definitely a voyage, a journey, because I wasn't raised that way. So I had to learn how to come into a room and command respect, to not know a better phrase for it. So you wanna come in and have a calming effect on the people around you, but at the same time, garner that automatic respect so that you can do what you need to do and have some measure of success in life. So it took a lot of growth to get myself to the point where I can stand strong and confident, and I can bring that kind of confidence and security to the people that are with me.
What did you realize you had that gift?
Oh boy, I was pretty young. It came along with the beginning of forming your new life. You know, when you're leaving your parents' nest and you're trying to create your own life, you go crazy for a while, party for a while, do your kind of whatever for
Good
a few
times.
years. Good
Mhm.
times.
Good times.
Good times. You know, the stamina and the focus kind of rises to the surface as you go. So, as you get older and those years progress, you have more focus in your life. You find the things that you love and you start to fight to keep them in your life. And you begin to build your life around what you actually love. That takes time. It takes time to figure out what you love.
Still know a lot of people who don't do that though, Laura. So I hope that you give yourself credit for that. I've always seen you leading in a creative way with your pottery and everything else that you do. And tell me about what you're wearing today.
My grandma's sweater, my grandma's knit. It's all hand knit,
It's
and I found it
beautiful.
way in the back of her closet, when we were having to move her out. She was getting Alzheimer's, and so the family came in, and they said, "You can take anything out of the closet that you want." I found this bad boy way back in the corner.
And what, like, And I know we choose things to wear based on who we are, what we're feeling, what they represent. What does this represent for you?
Well, grandma was a pistol. She was a very outgoing and dominant woman herself. She ran her own business and she got into antiques and collectibles as she got older, and she had a really successful antiques business. And she just had the kind of energy that I knew was also in me. So I identified a lot with her. I also wear her jewelry.
Beautiful,
And
beautiful.
this is all her pieces that I remember her wearing. So it gives me a lot of strength to have these pieces with me. I don't have a whole lot from my childhood, and having these select items, I feel like they give me courage.
You know, I know you've gone through some very interesting times, right, in your upbringing,
For sure.
for sure, and tackled those along the way. What role has your creative outlet through your art played through your journey?
My creative side was everything for me. My creative side became it was my access to spirituality, really. And I'll tell you a secret, I don't consider myself the most or even of the most highly skilled artists, but what I do consider myself is, among the most passionate about
Mm.
sharing art with others. So I had a student ask me a couple days ago, "Do you have much artwork? Where do you sell your artwork?" And I said, "Well, especially for the last few years, I haven't made a whole lot outside of classes, so I don't have a whole lot to share. I work another job, and the free time that I have, I prefer to spend it teaching. I love it so much." So much. And it doesn't really leave me a whole lot of time to just sit and do artwork on my own. So that's meant over the years, I haven't really polished my own skill with dozens and dozens of hours practicing, but I have polished it as I teach, and I've polished teaching. So I have little bits of art, but the teaching part, it gave me community, it
Mhm.
gave me purpose, it gave me connection, it gave me everything that I felt like I needed in life.
And you teach mainly young people, is that right? Do you teach teenagers?
I teach all ages.
I didn't
So,
realize.
actually, mostly right now I teach adults. So,
Oh.
I run a date night class every Friday night, so that's for people that have never really used the pottery wheel before. They come in for 2 hours and they sit, and I teach for about 30 minutes, and then I help them for about an hour, and they always have an incredible time. It's insanely satisfying, and then it feeds into my intro to pottery class that I teach on Monday nights. And then I also teach intermediate pottery on Thursday nights. Those are all adults. But in the summer, I'll run summer camps. I do have 2 children that are private students. So I teach everybody. Come
What
on
do you
now.
what do you love about teaching?
I love the way I identify my best self. I feel I am my best self when I'm teaching. It's when I feel like I'm who I truly am.
Wow.
When I'm teaching, and that's huge. That's huge. So, and like I said, it gives me this connection with people around me that you don't get anywhere else. When you can share a skill with 10 strangers for 30 minutes and then hang out with them for the next hour while they practice that skill that you taught them that they had never done before, there's no other thing like it. It's the only way you'll ever have that kind of a connection with people. And if you've never taught a skill to a room full of people, especially an art skill, and then sat there and watched them enjoy it and be like, wow, and see the effect that it has on them as people, they leave saying, this was the most fun thing. I'm so glad we did this. I learned so much. It just fills me to the brim.
It seems like you get just as much from teaching others or more than they get. And
Absolutely.
you also strike me as someone who's because of your self-awareness and your presence, someone who's very, very coachable and open to feedback without losing who you are.
Oh, I look for feedback. I look for people who can coach me. Those are the most valuable people in my life, the ones that have feedback for me, the ones that can help me learn and grow. So I have a hard time understanding people that don't hold a growth mindset. It's hard for me to understand because those are the best opportunities you get in life right there.
Were you always this way? Did you always seek feedback, or was it something that you had to work on?
I think I've always been comfortable with it. I've always been comfortable with it. I definitely have my rebellious phases, though. There
There's
were times, in fact, I was raised in a way very strictly, and because I'm so coachable, I really took that on as a young person, and I believed what I had been taught was the only way, and I had been coached into this belief system that I had to leave. So I had to almost teach myself how to not be as coachable sometimes. And instead of allowing myself to just listen to what everyone else is saying or listen to what the people in my life is saying, you have to stand on what you inside, what your core heart, your true self believes. And everybody has their own core true self. And so it's going to, it's going to be a different voice for each person. And if you just take a whole set from a group of people or from a collect a group of individuals, then you're not allowing your true self to have any judgment there. So there's a balance. There's a balance you have to have between being coachable and taking the outside information in and then just fighting the good war to live your own life while being coachable.
Do you remember the moment where you started questioning the rhetoric you grew up being programmed with?
It wasn't until I got my first teaching artist job. So when I was 22, I lived across the street from an art center, and some of their mail got delivered to my house. So I ran it over there. I said, "Here, just bring this by." And the woman inside was so nice. She asked me about a little bit about myself since I was a neighbor. And I told her I loved art in high school and I was a nanny. And she said, "Would you be interested in working here?" And those people changed my life. I'm still in touch with a lot of them, and I thank them regularly. I thank them for opening this door for me in my life.
And you stepped through it.
Oh, I definitely stepped through it. And so for like the first 6 months, I was in this new job, and I was also living this lifestyle I was raised in. And as I worked the job, I could tell that there was a lot more happiness and satisfaction to be found in the world than was just in this little group that I was in, that I had been raised in, and oftentimes when you're in a kind of a more isolated group or a select group, they like to attest to being the happiest people on earth. They like to attest to having the answers. This is the way. And having that job at an art center showed me that that was not the only way. So my brain opened.
And I know when people's brains open, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound good. But when your brain expands, let's say that, when your brain expands
Yes.
and who you become expands, the people that have been in your past might push back.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. So how did you deal with that pushback as you started becoming your full self?
I was really, quiet for a very long time because I did not want to hold any responsibility for someone else's mind expanding. Um, I felt like that was a it's a huge life event. It's a huge occurrence. It's a massive change in a person's life. It's huge. And I didn't want to push what I had experienced onto other people. I didn't feel right about that. And that changed too, but that took a decade. It took me 10 years to start to speak up more about it. I had to first live in my new life, and I had to find out for sure that this was safe and good and positive. And now I'm 20 years out as an adult, 20 years into being a teaching artist. And I speak very, openly and directly. You can find content online of me talking a lot about how I was raised and how I eventually pushed back with my own words and my own presence and took a much stronger presence, but it took me years. I lived for about 10 years just very quietly, just trying to mind my own business, just trying to teach my art classes, trying to be happy.
Trying to did you ever try to blend in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
Really?
had to blend in because I knew nothing about the real world. Been raised so isolated, so I had to just observe everything I could about the people around me. Even when you first met me,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you know, when you first met me, I had only been teaching art and had left my family and all of that for, like, 3 years at that point. I was very, reserved and timid, and, uh and I just kinda lived my life that way. But then after the kids were born, gave me a few more years, I got into living my life and finding my confidence and finding my voice, and then I put the whole story out there.
It's so interesting to hear your perspective of yourself when we met, because when we met, I remember you being gregarious. Yes. So much fun. Um, I assumed you've always been an artist, and my impression was you're fully free. Isn't
I
that
was fully free. You are
yeah,
right about that.
you're experiencing the freedom for the first time then.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Yes. And I have always been outgoing and fun and, that's always been part of who I am, and that's part of what helped guide me as I went because the way I was raised didn't didn't hold space for that very well. There was no space to be an artist there. There was no space to be different there.
Mm.
There was no space to say whatever your heart wanted there. And my soul needs that. So,
And you live life on your own terms, and it seems like without fear of judgment. Is that accurate?
yes.
I love it. Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who knows exactly what they want but struggles to speak it out loud?
You gotta find it inside. The place where you're sharing this is the most important thing for you to do. You have to realize that, and this might sound a little dramatic, but your life is on the line. The life that you have to live, the life that's before you, and the life that you're in right now is on the line for how you're going to handle how you move forward. If you don't put out there whatever you may be feeling inside, it's never going to come out. You are the mother, the creator of it. And if you don't give birth to it, it's going to just, wither away inside of you and you're going to live a life of regret. So, yeah, don't
Do
ever let yourself live a life of regret.
do you have regrets?
Not really. I have things that I wish had gone differently. So,
Yeah.
I have things I wish had gone differently, but I am so proud of how I worked with what I had. I am very satisfied with how I've worked with what I had been given the lot I got in life. I worked the out of the role I was given in life.
Yes, you did. Yes, you have.
Yes, I have, and I'm proud of it, and so even the things that didn't go the way I wish they had are nothing more than twists and turns and bumps and hills on that path that I've been on. Life's not easy. Life's gonna give you everything that can go wrong will go wrong a lot of the time, and if you can still push through that, if you can lift that belief that you have above all the things that are going wrong, then you're gonna have your beacon, you're gonna have your direction, your path is there. You can see it. You can see where to go, but
How
you gotta let it rise above everything else.
yeah. How does this show up, in motherhood?
Well, that's been very complex to answer that, especially as my kids got into their teenage years. So when they were little, it was infinitely easier. And then as they got older, I didn't have the best history, background, and foundation with authority
Who
myself.
likes authority? It's not
Authority.
me, for crying out loud. You tell me I can't do something, I'll do it just to see what you do, which is not served
Yeah.
me well, but anyway, I digress. I'm listening, Laura.
But that's exactly it right there, and, my kids are just as full of fire as I am, so
I love
it
it.
took it was a big lesson to learn how to tighten up in some ways and also loosen up in other ways. So I had to tighten up the structure and the clarity around boundaries and things like that. I had to tighten that clarity up for them, and I had to loosen on my emotional responses. So I learned to not react in anger and frustration to a very large degree, but yet be clearer on the boundaries, be clearer on what we need to get done and where all of that lays. And that was hard. It was really hard, but growth again, and that feedback. I learned a lot from therapists. I learned a lot from my kids' therapists.
Mhm.
So I just took it and I tried to learn every step of the way, and it's brought me lots of lessons and it's brought me lots of peace. So my relationship with my kids is incredible now. So it's always been incredible, but got a little rough for a little bit in there just because they were struggling and I was struggling, but they're doing so good. I'm doing so good.
It's so cool to know your story, how you were raised. You went through your metamorphosis of becoming who you were always meant to be. And then seeing you raise two wonderful children who are fully themselves,
Yes.
like, it gives me goosebumps just to think about it.
I don't even know how I did it, dude.
I It's amazing.
I sometimes wonder how I managed to get them this far, but
Mhm.
they are so unique. They are, like, wildly individualistic, and I'm so proud of them, and they're
And they
brave, and they're courageous,
Mhm.
and
It's so cool.
I guess I
You
rubbed off on them a little bit.
just a scotch, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And you had mentioned growth, right? So what does growth look like for you right now?
Growth for me right now looks like advancing in my corporate position as quickly as possible. I'm very financially driven at the moment, so my schedule's really full. It's a balancing act between the 2 jobs. So, and the more authentically myself I am, the better that scenario is going. So, being clear about the fact of what I do in the evenings when I teach and communicating that at work and letting the joy show, letting the satisfaction show, letting it show how much more of a well-rounded person
Mhm.
allows me to be. Not trying to keep it separate, allowing a little bit of bleed through is really beneficial because it helps both sides see how much I'm doing, the effort that I'm putting in, have deeper respect for my time. So it's working really well. They're complementing each other. I'm just a little tired.
Just a little tired,
Just a little
just a little tired, and you're gonna take a little nap. Take a little nap, little siesta, and you'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Oh,
like, "Oh my
yeah.
god." Yeah,
No, I mean, I want my time full. This is what I want. I love that my time is so full of rich activities. I'm blessed.
hashtag hashtag blessed. Okay, so time goes so fast. Okay, so, um, I have a few quick fire questions for you.
Sure.
So just answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. My gosh, whenever I have to tell you, whenever I'm about to ask these questions, I'm just like, I have no idea what they're going to say. And I'm going to be surprised every time. And every time I am. Okay. Here I go. What's a bold idea you've had recently that scares you just enough to try it?
Oh, boy. Um, Getting the corporate team to come to the pottery studio for team building.
I love that.
So I've already asked them, and they said yes, but I wanna get it scheduled and planned,
That's a
especially
great
as
idea.
I'm getting to know all the managers now. So bring all of those fast food managers and put them around pottery wheels.
Let's
That's gonna be
go. Yes. It's
hilarious.
going to be great. I want to go. I'm going to fly up there. Okay. If you could unmute one topic people aren't talking about enough, what would it be?
Oh boy,
Boy, right.
a topic that people are talking about enough. Community and taking care of each other and taking care of our community together, and being active in that. There's so much going on right now, so many problems, things, everything the whole world is talking about, America,
It's all,
and
yeah.
it all boils down to community.
You make it sound so simple, and I think it probably is that simple. If you just take care of one another. Ugh, okay. That's a whole nother show. Okay. What's one small daily habit that's had a big impact on your mindset?
Okay, having my morning supplies, socks, clothes, everything right next to me when I before I get out of bed. I don't want to think or work at all between the time I open my eyes and I'm starting my shift. And allowing me to do that has enabled me to pour so much more energy into my workday. All I had to do was get everything ready. What do I want to take tomorrow? I'm taking this lip gloss. I'm taking these socks. It's all sitting right there. I don't think in the mornings. That was a life changer.
I love you so much because who wants to think of the morning?
I can't. It takes
I
so much
cannot.
energy. And then by the time I finish that and I'm like going to work, I'm like, ugh.
Oh, I just sit there and like 45 minutes go by. And if someone's talking
Yes.
to me, I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying. You need to step back.
It's because you took 10 minutes picking out your jewelry.
Because I can't think in the morning.
Uh,
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. If listeners could take one action, an action, Laura, not just an idea, after hearing you speak, what should
mhm.
it be?
Smile at each other. Take care of each other. Take joy with you out into the world and just share it. Hopefully,
And
you're already doing that.
right? Don't be a big meanie pants. We
No,
don't.
it makes such a difference in life, the energy you share with the world around you. Pay attention to the energy you're sharing with the world around you, please.
What is one word that captures who you are becoming right now?
Professional.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't really do that for a long time.
Well, it's been fun to watch you because you bring your self awareness, you're very thoughtful, kind, caring, which you would think that that's normal professional and it should be normal professional,
Yes, but it's not.
but it's not. And I like that I feel like you're integrating the corporate world with kindness
Yes,
and
yes, and
authenticity.
everybody they can feel that in the
Uh
job I
huh.
have right now. Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's like, what? You're a
Yeah.
kind human? Yeah.
It works out in my favor really well.
Just be a good human.
Really, just really, yeah.
Well, Laura, this has been such a powerful conversation. Thank you for sharing your story and your wisdom with us. But before we wrap, I do have a couple of final questions.
Okay.
Okay, so if listeners walk away remembering just one thing from this conversation, what do you hope it is?
That to be true to yourself, to don't squash those dreams. Lift them up. Listen to yourself. Jennifer has incredible advice on how to move yourself towards a more corporate alignment and a more professional alignment. Sometimes you just need the language. Just
Sometimes you just
educate.
need the language.
Sometimes you just need the language. Yeah.
Yeah. And on a more personal note, Miss Laura, what has it meant for you to share your story here on Unmute Yourself today?
I was definitely looking forward to it a
Yeah,
lot.
it's fun.
Yes, it's really powerful to be able to share your thoughts. And unfortunately, we were not given these kind of opportunities in average everyday life. And I think that it would be hugely beneficial to people if we had these kind of opportunities more. So I feel strong and courageous, and I feel like there's a lot of positivity that I bring to the world around me, and you don't always get to tap into that feeling. So thank you for helping me really identify a lot of the positivity I'm able to.
Well, you are just a joy. I'm so glad to have you in my life. And how can listeners connect with you and support your work?
So the best way right now is through Instagram. I have Instagram. We can post that,
Oh,
link
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Um,
And I'll
and
tag you.
I also have Facebook, that's open. I intentionally keep that open for people from my past or professional connections. So I'm on Facebook as my actual name, and you can definitely reach me there.
Well, thank you again, Laura, for sharing your story and your immense wisdom with us today. And to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in to Unmute Yourself. And if today's conversation inspired you, please share this episode, subscribe, like, follow, and stay tuned for more stories of leaders creating work that truly fits and matters. Until next time, unmute yourself and step into the story only you can tell.